Justin, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I called in 2 weeks ago from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, regarding the Nativity scene in Menorah at the Luzerne County Courthouse.
Yeah, now that Christmas is over, is there any new developments?
Actually, yes, there is. Well, for those who haven't turned in, the courthouse owned, maintained, and put up Nativity scene in Menorah in part of our areas on the lawn. The courthouse, I'm cracking up here. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. They had one snowman behind a tree, and the menorah and the nativity scene were far apart. I filed a complaint, and the scenes were taken down. An outrage soon sparked. People protested, receiving tons of hate mail. Recently, the items put back up very secular decorations like candy canes, snowmen, Winnie the Pooh, reindeer, and Santa Claus. And even after this happened, religious people were still angry because they said the religious message was being watered down and the rights are being taken away. They still don't get it. I got an unnamed Christmas card recently that says this: Mohammed and Beelzebub are proud of you, Justin. What is a smug, arrogant devil like you doing at a Catholic college? You should be expelled. Wishing you and yours an unmerry Christmas.
Great. Was your Christmas unmerry?
No, it was
then they didn't get their wish.
I had a great time. I asked people if their Christmases were ruined because this happened, and everyone seemed to have a great time.
You know, if maybe instead of wishing for you to have an unmerry Christmas, they'd have actually prayed about it, maybe you would have had an No, that's not.
Well, some people have said that, oh, I'll pray to you, and this thing you're going through, and this and that. But I said, great, pray for me, but, you know, it's not going to
The only thing I'm going through is the fact that you assholes are trying to annoy us and take away rights and shove your perspective down everybody's throat. So, yeah, if you want to pray for that to stop, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, but they won't do that. The leader of my local group, the NEP Free Thought Society, has issued a challenge to an entire church of, if God is real, you pray for me to not be an atheist, and, you know, then that'll prove it. But so far, nothing's happened.
Yeah, that's actually a bad idea. There's almost none of these, you know, you don't want to set up a test that's foolproof, but you also don't want to set up a test that concedes a position unnecessarily. I mean, obviously, if I were to convert to a particular religion or adopt it and believe it, then I would no longer be an atheist, and I would be convinced that, in fact, there was some God. But that alone would not be sufficient evidence for anybody else.
Right, of course.
And, of course, I don't think it's likely in the slightest. But I would put it in the improbable but not impossible category.
Right. It's a little bit silly. But recently, a second thing I wanted to bring up, I was speaking to my aunt about this nativity scene, and she said, oh, I have this friend. He'll set you straight. He'll answer all your questions about religion. And this thing went on for a while. And finally, I spoke to him, and I was anticipating a really good argument. But he kept arguing about the soul and saying we all have souls. The soul is the vital life force in us. And he gave no evidence for it. And I said, you know, why should I believe in this? He said, because humans can't have the faculties to experience God. So God reveals himself in Scripture, and that's why we should believe him.
And that proves a soul how?
That's what he said. I said, well, do you believe all books you read? What about other religions? And he said, oh, no, it's different. I experience it. That's our life force that we have.
Well, if humans don't have the faculties to perceive God, then how does he know God's there?
That's what I told him. He said, but if you have faith, God reveals himself to you in Scripture. And
hey, you know what?
So if you believe it, then suddenly you know it's true.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what he thought.
If you have faith, anything's true.
Yep. I said, well, you know, I believed in it once before, and I had faith, and now I don't. So, can I experience God? Is that a possibility? And the argument pretty much went nowhere from there.
There are, well, I won't even say it. So, well, I'm glad you got back in touch with us. You were going to have a meeting and tell us how that came out?
Yes, we did have our meeting, but unfortunately there were no protesters. But we had a record turnout. We had a great discussion, and it was really nice. It was a great end of the year.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Thanks a lot for calling back and giving us details on what happened.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a great one.
Thanks, Justin. Bye-bye.